Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Last video you guys saw me, we went ahead and yanked the engine out of this truck here while my son was at work. So on this video, got my son's up here. He's got to go to work in a couple hours. Seth's over up here helping us. And now he has actually been on this thing here, the engine that's going in his truck. He's been working on it now for about an hour or so. He's been kind of got a little scraper there. He's been cleaning up, trying to get some of the big dirt chunks and stuff off it, but he's got some tools already set up. So now we're going to get him to get the valve covers off, see what the underneath those look like. We'll get the intake off, see what that looks like, get it cleaned up, get it resealed, and then we'll flip the engine over, get the oil pan off, see what the inside of that oil pan looks like, and clean it out if it needs cleaned out. Make sure that pickup tube's not clogged, and basically reseal it, get it ready so we can get it off the stand, and yeah, get it back in the truck. All right, so got the valve covers off, as you've seen. Got my boys over there eating breakfast burritos. My wife made them. So, but got the valve covers off. So you guys also saw that went ahead and loosened up the rockers. We're going to pull those off. And if you guys never worked on a 3.0 or seen one without the valve cover on it, so here's part of the actual head. And then here, this part here where the valve cover seals is part of the intake manifold. Now most of them, got my little flashlight here, you can see the push rods go through. But on most of them, it looks like you could probably pull the intake off without having to pull the push rods or the rockers. But if you come back over here on this one side, you can see there where it looks like the intake manifold, where you'd have to pull that push rod. So, to kind of eliminate any chances of getting caught on anything, we decided we're going to go ahead and pull all the rockers, pull all the push rods, blow through them, check them, make sure they're all clear. So, now we're going to get the intake manifold off, clean the heads up, get the intake resealed. Now, normally if you guys buy a junkyard engine or pick one up, most of the time you really wouldn't have to go through all this, but since we did pick this one up from a junkyard, and if you look down in here, it had a little bit of an oil leak on the bottom of the intake. So, and of course on the back of the valve covers, we're going to go ahead and just reseal all that. That way we don't have to worry about any oil leaking all over anything. And since the engine's out, like I said, we're going to pull the pan, check the pickup tube on the pump, make sure that's not clogged. I don't want to have the same problem we did on my daughter's truck. So we're going to make sure the oil pan's clear. And yeah, since, like I said, since the engine is out, we're going to put a rear main seal in it as well. But go ahead and get this intake manifold off and get it cleaned up. All right, you guys saw it. We got the oil pan off, timing covers off. Now, we've gone ahead and looked through everything. Everything looks fairly decent. Give you guys a little close up here. So, other than the fact that it looks like it's got miles on it, I don't see any major buildup of anything. Pickup tube was pretty clean. My son's already gone ahead and cleaned out. Whoop, there it is. Cleaned up the gasket surface of the pan. Got inside there, scraped and cleaned out the inside of the oil pan. So we got all the big chunks out of that, which wasn't much, just a little bit of sludge buildup at the bottom, but That's what you get for probably an engine with a lot of miles on it. So everything looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and start getting this thing back together. We're going to get the timing cover back on so we can get the oil pan gasket and the oil pan bolted back up. Get the water pump bolted back up. Get the engine flipped back around. We'll go ahead and get the intake bolted back up so we can get the valve covers back on. Pretty much get this whole thing buttoned up enough to get it off the stand. Get it back into the truck. So I'm going to save you guys from all of that hassle. So when we come back, this thing should be on the engine hoist and ready to stab inside the truck. All right, back. It's actually the next day. As you guys can see here, engine's hanging above the truck. You also saw that we went ahead. We've got the flywheels on and it's torqued down. Pressure plate and clutch are on and ready. Pilot bearing is in. Rear seal was changed out before we did all that. So, like I said, we are ready. Engine's hanging. He's got to go to work in about an hour. So we're going to get the engine bolted up to the transmission, get it sitting on the engine mounts. Then I'll have to stop and take him to work. But when I come back, hopefully keep jamming on it, get the wiring harness in, get the fuel system done, get the exhaust bolted up, see if we can't get a test fire. And yeah, getting excited. He can't wait to drive it. He's been having me or mom or his sister take him or pick him up from work, and well, nobody likes that. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this engine bolted up the transmission. Okay, it is the next day again. Yesterday I did stop, took him to work. I did come back, got a little bit done. Most of what you guys seen though, like putting the radiator in, intake, all that stuff was done after we picked him up. So, like you saw, the engine is in, it's all buttoned up, everything's bolted up, exhaust, transmission, mounts, cooling system is in. You saw we put a brand new radiator in it. The truck does have a brand new water pump on it as well. So, oil's in. We did try to turn it over last night, but his battery was terrible. Wherever it's at now. Oh, it's in the back of the truck. It was dead. So we did just get back here a couple minutes ago from Walmart and the auto parts store. We had to pick up another radiator cap for his new radiator. See here, we put in a brand new battery. Also went ahead and put on some replacement ends for the battery cables. His were also trash, which was part of the problem. We did manage to get the crank over a little bit, but not a whole lot. Fuel system is primed, so he actually has to go to work again here in a few hours. So we're going to get this thing up. Now it should fire right up. It acted like it wanted to last night, so with a good battery, she should fire right up. Like I said, he is going to work here in a couple hours. There he is. So we're going to get it up, running. Hopefully get it on a quick test drive, get the hood put back on it, take it around the block a little bit, double check all the fluids. That way he can get himself back and forth to work. So hop in the truck, Jake. Cycle the key a couple times. Make sure it is. We hear the fuel pump and everything kicking on. Oh yeah, it kicked on. No problem. On and off. Fire up. Cool. Sounds pretty good. It does have it's got an eBay muffler on it. I think the muffler was like 30 bucks. It's a cheap exhaust I put on it a while ago for him because when we bought the truck, his exhaust was falling off. But you see, got a little bit of smoke coming out. I expected the smoke for a little bit. I did pour oil down the cylinders. Like I said, it's a junkyard engine. Wasn't quite sure how long it sat there, but it turned over, it felt okay, so I figured just to kind of help with the oiling, I did squirt some oil in the cylinders. I also did a pressure test on the cooling system, held about 13 psi for about 5 minutes. Didn't drop at all, so that reassures me the cooling system's in pretty decent shape. What do you think, Jake? Sound pretty good? Happy to get your truck back? Oh yeah. So that's cool. But yeah, like I said, we do have a few things to take care of. Double check all the fluids. We're getting the hood back on. We gotta get this thing taken around the block real quick. Make sure everything's good. So I'm gonna end this video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Now that hopefully everything's good with this thing, we can get it out, start getting back to work on some of our other projects. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. Turn on notifications. And catch you guys on the next one.